All right, Jeff, well, tell me why you're running for Congress.
Because both parties have left a gap in a lot of solutions and policies. Especially my number one issue is balanced budgets, and both parties have made the debt worse, and not one person in Congress has suggested or specifically laid out how to balance the budget. So I have a budgeting background, and I took 3 months and did the research and math and did a draft detailed balanced federal budget. I also made it interactive so people can get on there and do it their own way. That's the prime example of this more general problem of how the two-party system is got a lockhold on American politics and is also leaving a lot of problems unaddressed.
Seems like the two parties are pulling away from the center, whereas I think most people tend to live in the center politically. Talk to me about that and how you think you can appeal to those voters that are in the middle, so to speak, politically.
A lot of people, I think most voters are, they're about results, and they're not necessarily about dogma or ideology or the way they want to get things done. A lot of people certainly have, almost everybody has ideas about how to get things done, but in the end it's about results. And I think that's why there's so much appeal for independents, especially this year, 2010, in different ballots across the country.
So you're running a congressional race here. It's a big geographical district. Roanoke to Harrisonburg, Lynchburg on the other side of the Blue Ridge. Your focus the next few months has to be on building up an organization, volunteers, and raising money to be able to run an effective campaign. Talk to me about that and what you're doing in that respect.
That's exactly right. And I've looked to a couple of examples from about 20 years ago where challengers beat incumbents on fractions of the incumbent's budget. One is Russ Feingold in Wisconsin. The other one is Paul Wellstone in Minnesota. And they both did it by speaking to things that the incumbents weren't getting done, by proposing their own solutions, and by going out and showing that they were really connected with the concerns of the ordinary people and the lives of ordinary people and really like one of them. And they get around and they spend their limited resources, in Wellstone's case 15% of the incumbent's budget, they spend it well and carefully, and you inspire a certain number of volunteers. You make sure your message gets out, but you don't have to send people something 5 times if you can make sure they're going to read it the one time you send it to them. So it's that sort of approach.
Retail politicking here today. We're at the Summer Extravaganza in Waynesboro, and this is the kind of thing that another way for you to get your word out, and probably very cost effectively as well.
Oh, certainly. And it's also very important that I meet a lot of voters for 2 different reasons. One is I get a good sense of what voters' immediate concerns are, and of course that's different for different people. And another reason is it helps me campaign. They feel comfortable with somebody, especially somebody who's independent. It's hard for people to identify what I stand for, especially if they haven't read anything about me yet. And so if they meet me, they get a good sense of my character, of what I heard a really old man once refer to as a horseback view of me, which is just a brief impression, but it speaks volumes. Not as much as a longer impression, obviously, but it's really important that I meet a lot of people for both of those reasons.
Jeff Vanke, candidate for Congress. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.